The Audi TT has established itself as a triumph of modern-day car design with its clean, Bauhaus-inspired geometric lines. But while design remains core to its appeal, this third-generation TT now aims to bring more technology and driving fun to the package than ever before.
Physically, the TT may be a compact car, but it has one of the most instantly recognisable silhouettes. It's also layered with details and jewellery, from these matrix LED front headlamps right through to the aluminium fuel filler cap, complete with the false Allen heads dotted around, just like the original Audi TT in 1999. All versions receive 18-inch alloys as standard, but this S-line trim adds 19s, plus restyled front and rear bumpers, dynamic rear LED indicator lights, a gloss black radiator grille, plus a no-cost option to lower the suspension by a further 10mm, which, if it was our preference, we probably wouldn't do to maintain ride quality. If the exterior is best described as evolutionary, then the cabin is revolutionary. What you have here is one of the best interiors at any price, and I mean that in terms of the materials used, the form, the fit and the finish. The big story is what Audi is calling the virtual cockpit, which replaces the traditionally mounted central screen here and gives you a 12-inch fully digital binnacle here. It still has your speed and revs displayed, but you can also toggle through your audio settings, your satellite navigation, even a music hard drive if you've spec'd it. Granted, it may take some getting used to having the binnacle and all the information down here and not over here, but it really feels like Audi's onto something. The basics are still brilliant too. The seat's very low set and snug. The steering wheel adjusts for both rake and reach, and despite this whole minimalist setup, there's actually a lot of practical storage from your glove box. You've also got a massive storage bin here complete with USB ports, and there are 2 cup holders. Unfortunately, aside from the very impressive virtual cockpit, air conditioning and digital DAB radio, standard equipment on this thing is pretty lean, so you're going to need to fork out some extra money on the Alcantara seats if you want them, parking sensors, the music hard drive, and even the electronic climate control with these pretty funky dials. The TT is firmly positioned as a 2+2, which means these rear seats are only ever going to be used for the smallest of children. However, they do have ISOFIX points, which is good for child car seats, and they do fold completely flat, which means you've got a really decent loading bay for a weekend away.
Up and down. Up and down.
There's a TT for every budget, including cost-conscious company car buyers, with a diesel-powered 2-litre TDI Ultra that develops 183 brake horsepower. But on the petrol side, it isn't always the case with some cars that the more money you spend, you acquire more performance, more brake horsepower. It doesn't necessarily mean you're getting a better sports car, and that's very much the case with the Audi TT. This is a mid-spec 2-litre TFSI petrol. It develops 228 brake horsepower, and it is, without a question, our pick of the range. It's an absolute blinder. The body control's really taut, the engine's really fizzy, the gear change is a bit long in throw, but it's still very precise and light to use, and the whole package has a real layer of maturity. Granted, it won't have the dynamic finesse of, say, a Porsche Cayman, but rest assured, you're going to be in no hesitation in calling this thing a sports car.
The Audi TT is more interactive and sports car-like than it has ever been. Combine that with the dazzling cabin, the everyday usability and strong residual values, and it's easy to see why this is one of Auto Trader's favourite new cars on sale.